charger with a power supply over here, right? So great. I mean, this is what it looks like. This is the connector, right? Excellent. Now I'm gonna go ahead and open this box. So what do we have? Well, we got this manual. As you can see, it's basically a really cool router, right? And it has, basically it just has AC adapter, bunch of antennas for 4G, for Wi-Fi, and bunch of screws. That's pretty much it. And it's quite easy to actually go ahead and connect to this thing. You just open up a browser, type CP, and then / or 192.168.0.1, and then you put it much inside the router, and you modify it using web UI interface. So looks like this. Now let me go ahead and open the box up further. Looks like there's a router over here, right? It's in bubble wrap, and as you can see, very small, right? Much smaller than, well, what you saw earlier. So what does it have? It has a LAN and a WAN port. Great. That would be, the WAN port is, awesome. LAN port is awesome. But in simple words, all it is just if you have your Internet of Things type of device, whether you do HVAC or whatever you do in your industry, and you want to connect this device, particularly to the Internet of Things. I mean, it's no different than a regular router. Yes, sure, it got some software-defined networking component, but in reality, it's just a box. It's just a router. It has a front web UI. It's nothing different than, let's say, a firewall, like a FortiGate firewall. I mean, actually, it is different conceptually. In reality, everything is very similar, but conceptually, if you get the concept of firewalls, traditional firewalls, and how to connect things, this should be really simple. So here's the label, CradlePoint, great label. Then we got bunch of different connectors over here, and that's for 4G. I mean, not 4G, but wireless connectivity, because it comes with 2.4 and 5 gigahertz range. So that's fairly decent, I would say. For those folks who do not know much about Wi-Fi, check out my website, studyguide.net/Wi-Fi, where I talk about different ways to scan waves and find different strategies to scan, to do different things. But anyway, that's off topic. But yeah, so it got those two antennas over here. So if you are driving in a car and you have this thing connected over here to your charger, you could connect this and connect the little antennas over here, connect your wire device over here, and connect the USB. And there's USB port over here as well. And on the back that we got the GPS connector over here for the GPS antenna, and we got aux cable on main cable. So now let's go ahead and talk about other different things. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that back into bubble wrap, and so I'm gonna continue opening up boxes further. Now, what we got here? What we have here is a power charger, similar, type of input, and this type of, here's the input, and here's the output basically, and you just plug that in. Nothing special here, nothing really special. It doesn't look like it's it's gonna bend. I know I had a Surface Pro power cable the other day, and it actually broke over here. So over here it looks like they have some level of protection over here, so that's great. Even better than Surface Pro from the power cable standpoint. So it's because indeed this is unique power supply. That's the only reason I'm mentioning that. Then we got a bunch of antennas over here. We got literally So what is that? That's a 5.2 and 4 gigahertz range antennas. That's cool. That's really cool. You know, you just plug them in. Let me go ahead and put one on. But I think you got the idea. It's so on the back. So on the back over here, right? We got those antennas. And remember, wireless. Yes, this router accept wireless signals, and that's great, right? But there's always concept of what's called interference when you drive around. But that's in the world of Wi-Fi, different story. But it's no different than any other router with 5.4 gigahertz range and 2.4 gigahertz range. So setting this up, here's another antenna over here, and it's cool. You could actually, you know, do this. You could bend it, which is great. I kind of like that. Oops, I probably should bend it later after I screw this thing on. So really cool unit, really cool for sure. Oh wow, okay. It's not really. If you want to see, if you want to compare the size wise, here's my, you know, mouse, the touchpad, and that's how that is in size comparison. It's really small, but to give you an idea how small it is, I'm gonna go ahead and put a basically, let's see. Yes. So as you can see, here's the mouse, and yeah, and a CradlePoint device. Now let me just adjust my camera real quick. I'm using my iPhone to actually record this video, but yeah, so here it is. There's a bunch of other antennas, and what is those antennas? Those are actually 4G antennas, and you could look closely over here. It shows that it's a 4G, but anyways, it's a lot smaller. And yes, I just open up the wrap and I plug that in, and it just goes pretty much, yeah. Okay, so 4G. So now what else over here? We got also 4G over here, right? So I'm just plugging in those ports, and guess what? I'm almost done. And that's how easy it is just to unpack the box and plug those devices in. Now the hard part is, of course, plugging things in the cloud virtually and knowing what's going on in the cloud and protecting each device and making sure that nobody else hacks into this device in the field. There are security features in this device that you could pull off, sort of like ACLs and a bunch of other different things that you could do, which I'll go over in other videos. But this video is strictly about just opening up the box and going over about CradlePoint, and that's about it. But hopefully you like this video, and stay tuned for my next video where I'm gonna be going over the details and the cloud portion of the CradlePoint, and I will show you what you could do with it and all this complicated stuff for many traditional folks out there who are not quite sure how to connect things. And then I'm gonna probably go ahead and connect my iPhone or something. Well, I'd probably not connect my iPhone, I'm using it, so I'll just connect something like a laptop that I have wirelessly, and I'm gonna try to create like a zone and show you a little bit of something, not anything crazy, but just to demonstrate what it does and show you all the capabilities for the cloud portion, so this way you feel comfortable about purchasing this router if you ever need to. Or of course you can go ahead and try to do what I did, spend countless hours of researching and basically discover that all the other vendors are quite are quite behind for sure in the field of software-defined networking and Internet of Things when it comes to any type of in-vehicle type of networks. But hey, you don't have to take my word for it. You could just go ahead and find out for yourself. Uh, but yeah, it took me